Todoist is a task management app that has been around for a long time, and it's also one of the most easy to use and simple apps out there to stay on top of your tasks easily. In this video, I wanted to share with you a getting started guide to Todoist, especially if you're curious about the tool and want to try using it. I'll go over some of its key features and how to get it set up so that you'll know if it's the right tool for you. If you find this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's dive right in. Let's first get started with a basic overview of the layout of Todoist. You'll notice that everything is mostly on the sidebar over here. What you'll find is the button to add a task, a search feature, and then an inbox. The inbox is designed in a way that you'll have everything in here that's not associated with the project. And then you'll see a today list like this, as well as upcoming tasks so that you can see a day by day of all the tasks that you need to do. Filters and labeling, so if you want to create filtered lists, they'll be in here, as well as labels if you decide to add them later. And then a reporting, so you can see specific filters and see what's happened inside of your Todoist. Underneath there are projects. With Todoist, I would say that you can think of projects as sort of like folders. We'll go over this a bit later, but things like your work tasks, your household tasks, those could all be projects, so then you can categorize them. There's also the option to add a team, and when you have a team, then you can basically share those lists with your team members and work out of a shared task list. Next, let's briefly go over the settings. So this is what you'll want to do when you first start Todoist. So you can go ahead and go to settings and just go through all of the different kinds of settings that you have here to make sure that you're starting from the right foot. So for example, in the general, you can see things like what kind of language you want, your home view, your date and time, when your week should start. So this could be an important one if you'd prefer it to be on a Sunday, for example. There's also different keyboard shortcuts you can add, themes if you want to change the way it looks. The sidebar can also be customized, all kinds of things. So make sure to check through the settings. I would say that the most important ones are probably the reminders. You want to make sure that you get reminded for your tasks, as well as the way that you want your notifications to work. These two are really important. Next, we get into how to add a task. Todoist makes it very easy to add a task. You can basically see this button everywhere. So you can click here, add a task, or press the keyboard shortcut Q. You can also just simply add task in the inbox directly, or even in the different options here. So if it's a task you want to do today, you can simply click here. If it's upcoming, you can add it in the correct date that you see here. So now if I click add a task, you'll see that I can start typing my task. Some tips on adding tasks is that if you have a specific date you want to do this task, you can go ahead and type that in, and Todoist will automatically know when the date should be. So for example, let's say that I need to send the project proposal to Jane today. Then you can see how it highlights the word today and it automatically assigns the date to today. With any kind of task that you add, you can also add a description, you can add an attachment, set the priority, set a reminder, and you can see a few other options here as well. And if you want to put it in a specific spot, you can choose that already here, or simply just click add task. Once you've added a task, you can click it open, and then let's say that you need to prep the project proposal as a subtask. You can also add subtasks in here like this. And if you complete it, you can see that the subtasks are completed. You can also attach comments as well to the task. And within the task, you'll also see that you can change the date. You can also change priorities, labeling, reminders, and so on directly from here. So just so that we have more tasks to work with, I'm going to be adding some more tasks from all parts of my life. Now let's go over how to use the projects feature in Todoist, and I think this is one of the most important things to work from, the inbox as well as your projects. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the getting started project that Todoist has added for me. I'm going to be adding 3 projects just so that we can start from a very simple place. You can of course add more as you need, but it's a good idea to keep it very concise and easy to manage. So my first one is just going to be simple. It's going to be work, and I'm just going to add that project here. The other one I'm going to add would be personal. So I have a personal list here. And then I'll add one more, which is, let's say that I want its own list for groceries. I have work, personal, and a grocery list. And now if I go to my inbox, I can start easily sorting that. Send the project proposal to Jane. That is a work item, so I can just drop that in. Finish marketing report, also work related. Call for doctor's appointment is personal. And then let's say my grocery list is over here. So now my inbox is cleared, and this is the kind of workflow that I would recommend when using Todoist. So now if I go to my work, I see my work tasks, I see my personal tasks, and I see my grocery list. The thing with the projects is also that you can actually really customize this as well. For example, here you can see add section. I could even name this section admin. Add the section, and let's say that I move my marketing report into my admin section like this. And then maybe you have a different section for another client related task. So I add that, and I could just drag the client related one in here. With the projects, you can also change the way that it's displayed. So this is actually the same even if you're in the inbox as well, but you can change it from list view to board view like this. And if you have a paid Todoist plan, you can also check out the calendar view over there. And you can choose what's the grouping, the sorting, the filtering, and so on. Another really important one is the email tasks to this project. So if I click here, it's actually going to give me a specific email address that I could forward tasks to when I'm in my email. Another key feature of projects is the ability to share your list. So you can share a project with other people by email. So maybe the grocery list you want to share with someone else in your family, you could also share that there. And the final step to setting up your Todoist would be to add some of your recurring tasks that you know you have to do. So let's say that I'm going to add a task here, which is to gather all of my finance documents every month. So as you can see, when I type every month, it automatically highlights it. And one more tip is I can type hash and then actually choose the project that I want to mention. I have the hash symbol work and then /admin, and it's already set on a recurring cycle. So you can see every month over here, and I can add my task. So now if I go to my upcoming, since it's already assigned to the project, it's not going to be in my inbox, but it's going to go to my work/admin section, and you'll see gather all my finance documents today. So now if I click this and I finish this, you'll see that it actually gets assigned to the next month. So if I scroll down, you'll see gather all of my finance documents on the next month. So the recurring feature is really easy to set up. If I go to my work here, now you'll see my recurring task here. A few other ones you might want to add. So if I do take out trash every Monday, then it knows to set the recurring on Monday. I can add that task. I can also make sure to move that into my personal list like this, so you can see that that's over here. So make sure to add all of your recurring tasks that you can think of so that the task list runs by itself and very smoothly for those tasks that you want to be reminded on a weekly, monthly, and regular recurring cycles. The next thing I wanted to cover are some of the more advanced features inside of Todoist. One of the things that I recommend is this dictate tasks with Ramble. I think this is a really cool feature. So you can actually just talk and then Todoist will actually create tasks for you. So for example, I want to send a proposal today at 5 p.m. I need to buy apples. And now I see send a proposal, buy apples, and I can go through my inbox this way. I could just move this into grocery list and send a proposal. Maybe that's in work. The other features that you might be interested in, and this is where it gets a little bit more advanced, are filters. So you can basically create filtered lists that are separate from projects, but will allow you to see a more concise view if you feel like you're starting to lose track of your tasks. So you can see different filters, maybe what are my high priority ones like this, and you can add more filters this way as well. The other thing are the labels. So with the labels, let's say that in your grocery list, you want to label which grocery store you're going to go to. So let's say that this one could be Trader Joe's, and then I could add a Trader Joe's label. And then in my grocery list, I could go ahead and add that label like this. It's going to show up here. Another really useful use case for labeling is if you want to label where you're going to do the task. Say this is a phone task, you can add something like that. You could add, for example, email. This way you can have another layer of organization besides the projects, and you could filter it out when you're on your computer. You just see all of the emails you need to send, regardless of whether they're work or personal or anything else. And then the next thing that you might want to explore is Todoist's productivity feature. And here you can see daily, weekly, and karma. And basically you get karma points every time you finish a task. And you can see your daily goal. So my daily goal is to finish 5 tasks. I can edit that goal and see my streaks. You can also do weekly as well. So weekly would be 30 tasks in the week. And then your points here. So this is a really nice way to stay on top of your tasks and sort of gamify the experience a little bit. So another thing that you can explore in Todoist. And the final thing that you might want to check out is that you can actually have templates for your projects. So if you want to try some of these out, that's also a possibility. You can see productivity methods, different kinds of user setups, work, personal, and so on. And there's so many templates out there that you can also add as part of your projects to get up and running even faster. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you've tried Todoist and what you thought about it. If you'd like to try it out, check the link in the description below, and I hope to see you all in the next video.